Hello, hello, hello. It's 7:30 in Nigeria. We are different time zones in different countries. It's 6:30 in some places, 5:30 in some places. So it depends on where you're joining me from. Okay, so Karen is here. Good to see you,
Hello,
Karen.
good evening, Mrs.
Good
Lola.
evening, Karen. I was just trying to, do an introduction. So I will start with an introduction. Karen is a student of the University of Calabar, and she's in her 20s. I mean, we've seen teens starting their businesses, even people that are probably much younger. But in the world of today, we don't have to wait until we are old or we feel that, oh, we are of a particular age before we kick off or start our business. We can actually start our business at any time and grow that business. So I will leave it to Karen to tell us a bit about herself and what she is doing as a business. So Karen, over to you. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you can. All right. So just say a bit about yourself. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Karen Kasia Egu, and I'm a student of the University of Calabar. I'm basically an artist and a student. Like, I do my art part time, and it keeps me busy during holidays. It keeps me busy during the strike, so I get my hands on other things. And I've actually tried to start like another business apart from ads, but then I think that was the period I actually realized that this is what I want to do and this is what I'll be doing for the rest of my life, because it's a part of me and it's something I've never, like, it has always been there, but I never picked interest, or like the interest was there, but I didn't take it serious, maybe because of the way our parents tend to like program us in Nigeria. Like, they always talk about how education is the key and everything. Yes, education is the key, but at the end of the day, we are all different. And the person that doesn't do so well in the classroom might actually not be for the classroom. The person only has to try their best to get a good degree, but that might not be the person's like focus or anything. I actually do well in the classroom, but I just know deep down that like the art thing is for me. So I started in 2019, November 2019. Like, that was when I said to myself, like, I want to start doing, like, I want to become a full-time artist. I want to be known for it. Like, anywhere I go, this is what I want to be known for. Whilst studying economics, and ever since then, you know, I started learning a lot about it. When I started, I knew nothing about the business, and just as little as pencil types, I started learning. I knew like nothing. I started learning how to, do the basics, and or I started with pencil, and then just like for every other business, once you go into it, you actually realize that, like, you discover new things about the business. You discover new things. You realize that, okay, maybe what you started with is not what you would actually move with eventually. So I never knew how to, do anything with pen. Or so basically, I just recently picked interest in painting. Like, I want to explore other mediums of art just to see what I can do with it. I'm still growing, like, and just here to like encourage other people out there, like, they can also do it. They can also grow and start a
So,
business.
but what really inspired you? What inspired
Okay.
you, Karen? What inspired you to go into art? Because I'm not sure your background is in art. I don't know, maybe you did some art when you were in secondary before you got to the university. And I understand that that's not what you're studying in the university. So what really inspired you? What really got you, motivated that, oh, I like this and I want to really pursue whether it's a career or a business, in art?
Okay. Um it has always been a part of me. I've always loved drawing, or I would say making sketches right from when I was a child. I make a lot of sketches, I pick up these cartoon books and I try to draw what I'm seeing. The drawings were actually very horrible if you look at them right now, but they were beautiful to me then. And I loved this. There's this toy that when you draw on it, you can clean it. That was like my favorite toy back then. And it was always a part of me, but along the line, at some point I stopped. I didn't draw for years and all. And then when I got into the university, there was this fear in me. Like, it kept coming and going. The fear of am I going to leave planet Earth and nobody actually knows that I have this thing? I wanted to be able to show people that, okay, like, there's this part of me, and it's not just a small part of me, it's a big, like a major part of me. So that's one of the reasons, like the major reasons why I decided to start doing it full time. And I didn't even know that I would actually take it this serious. So I decided that, okay, I want to do it. And the second reason is because, like, I didn't actually see myself making money from it, but I just said I want to start anyway. There's this satisfaction I get from seeing myself being able to do this thing. Like, other people think it's hard, but I can do it. So I get the satisfaction from seeing myself being able to create these drawings and being able to replicate what I see, people's faces, expressions, and everything. So I think it's the satisfaction, that motivated me, and the fact that I wanted to, I didn't want to come to Earth and leave the Earth without people knowing that I can do this. It was dying down. So that was like my major motivation.
Okay. It's interesting to know that even how I met Karen, because I enrolled for an art, program, a short art program, and course rather. And I just saw that this lady is really talented. So it's not like all of us still trying to get our hands on, how to go about it. So she was just doing all those drawings, and I was fascinated. So one of the days we took a ride together, and so we got talking, and that's how I got to know that, oh, she's doing it beyond this. So I got her Instagram handle, and I realized that, wow, this lady has done a lot of fantastic. In fact, within a short period of time, I want to say that she put up a drawing. I don't know, maybe it was during the course of a week or something, and she's so fast and so fantastic. Even the person that was taking us the art class, she drew. She gave a picture. She drew the man, and she gave the picture to the man. The man was, it was so excited and all of that, and he actually put it on his page. So these are things that you won't even think about. Many people are thinking, oh, how do I combine this? How do I do this? So it's a lot of putting, in effort, and, be determined, be intentional about a lot of things. So like I was talking about her handle. So she has like over 500 followers, and I always keep telling people it's not just about the following. It's not, stop chasing about after the followers, but focus on the sales process. So where am I going with this? I want to ask her a few questions as in around this that she's doing, because she's not doing it for free. She might want to do one or two for friends and families, but she's doing it to make some money. So have you gotten any kind of commission, and do you want to share with us like how many within the period of time that you started this?
Okay, I have gotten a lot of commissions. I think I've lost count since I started. My first commission was in February 2020, and I was a bit skeptical, but I was lucky. It was a friend, and he encouraged me, and ever since then I've gotten a lot of commissions. I think I can't even place a number. Most of them have actually been offline, most of them have been referrals, some of them online, but weighing them, it's like most of them have been offline than online, and I think that's dependent on me.
Okay.
Like I have a lot to do with that, because like I said, I'm still trying to grow in the business, and I feel like I can do so much more, and I have goals and other things. Like, the internet is a very, very strong and powerful tool,
Sure.
and you have to use it. So the thing is, like, in business, consistency is very important. And I don't think there's anybody that doesn't struggle with consistency. But you have to always like push yourself. You have to push yourself and try to be consistent. I'm also trying to push myself to stay consistent and to widen my social reach, to keep pushing yourself, because at the end of the day, out of sight is out of mind.
True.
And if you do not push yourself, like, nobody's going to see you. Nobody cares about if you're the best or not. You have to make yourself to be seen so that people can see you.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much, Karen. I know a lot of people might not be able to join us live tonight, but a lot of people are still going to be seeing this video because it's going to be saved and it's shared on the social media platforms. But how do you said something about it's not just online that you promote what you do. You use that media, I mean, like the social media, but at the same time, so how else? How do people get I've seen a number of pictures, and I know those pictures are not you. I mean, the drawings, I mean, on your page. So they are not you. They are likely maybe people's works, and some people would say, oh, don't put my picture. I don't want, my face out there. So I can imagine how many would have said that, and that means you've done a lot of work. But how do you really get, is it through referrals? What's the main source of reaching out or extending your reach to people? How do you reach out to people, or how have you been able to get more customers to be able to give you commissions or share it? So for the purpose of other people, so that they know that there are different ways in which they can actually acquire new customers, clients. Yeah.
All right. Sometimes I don't even know where my clients come from. Sometimes I just see a message pop up on my phone, and not like on my social media. Basically my WhatsApp. WhatsApp is like a more private social media. You need to get the person's contact. So most times I don't know where they are even coming from. And then when I ask, it's like, oh, this person told me. So it's mostly referrals. And then when I do like the commission work and somebody else sees it, not necessarily on my social media, maybe in their friend's house or something, they reach out to me and they want one done too. And also, like, I would say the major source of my commissions is from referrals. Referring people is a very powerful tool. Very powerful tool. And also, like I said, if you don't talk about yourself, if you don't push yourself and put yourself out there, nobody's going to see you, nobody's going to know you. I know that it's not really easy, especially for some like people that are not really social butterflies, they're introverted. You have to do it. You have to do it for your business. Yeah, because you have to do it because like every big entrepreneur out there was not always that big. They pushed themselves to that point. So until you get to the point where you don't have to talk about your business for people to see you and come to you and patronize you, you have to keep talking. I'm an introvert myself, but I have learned to open up. I talk about myself. I talk about it. I can just see people randomly. I could be in a gathering. As the spirit leads, I'll just go to the person. Oh, hello, good afternoon. Sorry to disturb you. I do this. I make these drawings. I have also noticed something. Most times when people realize that I do these drawings, I don't know, maybe I would say it's kind of like a privilege. The fact that I'm a girl, they're like, oh, art is always known, like, art is attached to men most of the time. So you being a girl and you're doing this is like, mind blowing. But I don't know, I kind of gotten used to it because I know some other artists, like really good artists that are females, like doing very well. So most times I don't know where the shock comes from, but I can actually understand. It's just like, bricklaying and all of that. You see more men there than ladies. Not like ladies are not doing it. So I talk about myself, like in places, gatherings, anywhere. Basically, I push myself, but mostly referrals. That's how I get most of my commissions.
Wow. Awesome. Yeah. So that takes me to the next question I would like to ask you about what you can just share with us very briefly. One of the most interesting offers that you've ever gotten that really excited you. You're like, wow. Maybe it's the way it came to you, or maybe it's the amount. Anything that really excited you about the offer, or anything that you want to share that maybe was different from the regular ones that you've been getting. Any wow experience?
Yes, definitely. I would say I've had two major experiences that I can think of right now. The first one is not really the wow experience, it's the second one. The first one was actually a family member. I went to pay him a visit, and that was when I was still very new in the business. And right now, when I look back at that art, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe he actually paid, so much for this. I think it was his way of encouraging me. So I think the wow or the shock I got from there was the fact that I had not yet really placed a value on myself at that time, because I was just like, entering the business. And I was like, you're kind of on the fence when you're on the business. And we can't lie to ourselves. Putting a cost on things that you do, your skill, is not an easy thing to do. It's not talked about much, but it's not an easy thing to do. And then the second wow commission I ever got was this year in February after my exams. I think I even got it during my exams. When my exams is closed, like a week to my exam, during my exam, a week after my exam, I don't take commissions. I use that time to read, write my exams, and then rest before I can think of any other thing, because you need to be sound-minded to do anything. Yes. And then somebody contacted me. She wanted a job, and sometimes you work with your mind, basically. My mind just said, take it. I was like, I explained my situation to her, my exams and everything, and then she was like, if I can do it, she would really appreciate. I wanted to come through for her. It's like she really needed this for her partner, like a drawing for her partner. So I was like, okay, I'm going to come through for this lady. And then I did it, and I charged her a bit more because of, it was an emergency. Like, I have to put myself into consideration, my time too. And when they talk about clients that pay more for a job, you give them your cost, but they still pay more. I think that was my first experience, so that was why it was special to me, because out of nowhere she just appreciated me more, a lot more. So it was very special. It was my first experience with that. So that's it.
Wow. So for those just joining, I will go back a little bit just to let us know who is in the house. So we have Karen Egu here. She's a talented, I would call it that, talented pencil and pen artist, and she's been doing this for about 3 years. She's also a student. That makes it very interesting, and she's our guest today. So I'm hosting you now on Connect with Lab. And I hope that as you're hearing from her, because what we're talking about is how to start a business, and so she's sharing her experience with us. So she's going to be speaking more on other questions that I'll be throwing at her. So what do you think after school? You're a student, you have so many things ahead of you, probably want to go into a career, or you want to go, just continue with this business. just tell us what your plans are, probably in the next 5 years, because by that time, I'm sure you're out of school, you're already thinking, you're getting probably offers. Maybe one oil company or one international company is calling you here and there to give you one mind-blowing offer as a job. So what happens to your to the artwork and all that you built over these years? Tell us what you have in mind. I know things do change, but you might have a future plan. You might have plans. How do you want to do this? Right?
Okay. So basically right now I have already thought about like my long run plan, and I see like it's a bit overwhelming sometimes. I don't think anybody who is my age has not felt or is not feeling like this right now. It's overwhelming when you're at this stage trying to figure things out. So basically, I just, in as much as I want to do art for the rest of my life, that's what I always want to do. I want to do what I enjoy doing. There's this part of me that likes what I'm studying, and I also want to actually, I want to do an actual job. So I think my plan is like, and it was inspired by an artist I met. He told me like he's in his 40s and he's doing so well. He's one of the artists I admire. He has worked a normal job, and right now, he's a full-time artist and he's doing so well. So he told me that in as much as you want to do art for the rest of your life, do not forget that you have other things. You have to live life and do other things, So basically, I would love to do a job after my schooling, for a few years. And while doing that job, I'm going to be putting in place maybe my space, my studio, to display artworks. I know that jobs take a lot of your time. You can't really work the way you would want to. So I'm going to definitely be doing artworks, not as much as I would do normally, but I'll still be trying to do them so I can have things to display. And in the process of working, I'm still kind of doing it as a side hustle. And then in the long run, I might just decide not to work again and just do my thing, and that's just basically going to be my life. That is the dream, and I am going to make it happen.
So, but how very interesting to hear that. But how have you been able to combine it? It's very tedious. I've been a student too here and there. I mean, the university. When I was doing postgraduate program, that was different because I was working and I was still schooling. Tough all the way through. So, I mean, right now, as you're in school, how do you manage? Art takes a lot of patience. The little I know, you need to be calm, you need to be patient, until you get there. You'll be looking at something, you're like, this is not perfect. I need to perfect it. And that is a lot of time. So how do you combine it? Because I know there are times that you might even get more than 1, 2, 3 jobs. How do you combine that? Finishing up their jobs and at the same time focusing, or do you just do it during the holiday or when you're less busy? How? How? You can tell me it's the grace of God. Yes, I know, but how?
Yes, yeah. Definitely. I asked myself that question too. How do I see other artists that I know as students during schooling times, like when school is in session, putting out artworks, and I'm like, how are they doing it? But for me, how I do mine, I have to learn to, make a plan for everything that I'm doing. That's why most times I might come off as busy to people because I'm trying to manage my time. We have just 24 hours in a day and I have to make the best of it. And because you are an experienced artist too, that doing art, you need to be calm, you need to concentrate. You can't just come out from school and just jump on it. So I work more during holidays, and I love holidays and I love strike. Not like in a I mean, it's kind of a predicament. It's bad and all, but I enjoy my strike, like ASU strike. I enjoy those times, because I'm making the best of it and not necessarily sitting down, doing nothing. So
Yeah.
at least at the end of the day, I don't feel so bad about it because I'm at least doing something. But during school times, I plan my days. When I wait for my lecture schedule to come out, and then I plan days that I can take time off school, or hours where I can, maybe I might have lectures in the morning. I attend my lectures, I come back, I have my bath, I eat, I sleep, and then I sleep for like 30 minutes, 1 hour. I wake up and then I start like to draw. Sometimes, like even like during this week, I had lectures in the afternoon, and then like I had to like draw in the morning, and then like attend to my lectures in the afternoon. So that's just basically how I manage my time.
Wow. So that's really interesting. And what you said earlier on, one man's meat is another man's poison. So it's like during the strike period, it might look like, oh, when are we going to resume? Yes, it's affecting you as well, but you're taking advantage of this. So that's what we always say, that in every threat or challenge, look at the opportunity, look at what you can do to fill up that time and to be able to, do more for improve yourself. So it's not just about sitting down and waiting. I've even done a video like that, trying to encourage people that 8 month strike, that was a long one. I mean, probably one of the longest we've had in Nigeria, but some people don't have that opportunity. And so why not find something to do? Look at, maybe it's your talent, your expertise, your skills, your knowledge. Put it into use, and you'll be surprised at what it will make of you. It's one of the reasons why I'm bringing people that are young but highly talented, and they have been able to do things, with their time. I mean, and turn maybe just what they've done into business. So one of the reasons why I brought Karen here. So we are gradually moving to the end of this session. So I just wanted to give your final words. You've spoken a lot. I'm sure many people, when they go through this, they're going to be inspired by your story, and maybe a lot of them, I will encourage them to reach out to you and get some of your art pieces, because it's very, very, I've seen some of them and I'm like, wow, by them. So I can just imagine that one sitting somewhere in my house, as in it's just going to be something else, and coming from a young person. So it's not somebody that's been there for 20 years, 50 years, but coming from somebody that is young. So it's very, very motivating to have that. So your final words for inspiring entrepreneurs, so people that are still hoping that, oh, what are they going to do, or maybe boarding on new business startups. What do you want to say to them? Your final words before I let you go. I know you're busy, you have to go back, read and all that. So final words.
My final words to anybody who is going to come across this video and this live session is that no matter what you want to do, it's not just art. I have actually tried. I've tried an accessories business before, and I don't intend to throw it away. I realized that it wasn't really working, and I've encountered a lot of difficulties. That's why when you see people online doing business, just know that it's not easy. No matter the business, it's not easy at all. So I intend to go into it again soon, but right now I feel like the best thing for me to do is to take a break, because at the end of the day, you cannot do everything. You break down. So if you no matter what you want, just take your time, think of something. There's nobody God did not give something. There's nobody that came to earth without anything in them. There's something in you. Just think about it. In your quiet time, ideas will definitely come. Sometimes you have to write down these ideas. It cannot be one idea. It can be many ideas. You have to write them down and try. You have to start. Even though it doesn't work out. There's no shame. Nobody is going to, look at you or anything. And even if anybody looks at you or anything, it doesn't matter. You just have to keep trying. You can try other things. You just keep pushing yourself. Because if you don't push yourself, nobody will push you. And most importantly, as you keep going, in anything you're doing, your choices could change, and you have to understand that you as you learn more, you have to know how to manage yourself. You have to know when to work, you have to know when to take a break. I still struggle with that too. Most times when I'm supposed to take a break because maybe my body has actually done a lot, I start feeling guilty, like, oh my god, I'm wasting time, But no, like, you shouldn't actually feel like that. You should take breaks when necessary to which I could make, the drawings I make now. And I cannot believe I make them. And now I have other bigger wishes. And I know, like, when you start like that and you started to see some results, you start to trust yourself more. Right now, I know that anything I want to do, I can do it. I just have to be disciplined. That's it. And then most importantly, procrastination is a bad, but in fact, it's your enemy. It's a bad thing. Procrastination is inevitable. Everybody will go through it, but always try to manage it. Don't, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, oh, I'll do it next week. You keep making excuses. So start now. That's very important.
Okay, thank you, Karen. Final words. Karen has said a whole lot. In fact, I was going to get a notebook and start writing all those those things that she has told us. So don't be ashamed. Try your hands on those things that you have in your mind. It could be talent, like I said, that you're on skill, your expertise. Just try your hands. Launch that idea. Just start. She had said all of that. And she said, even while you're doing that, you need to plan. She had said that during the course of this session, that you need to plan yourself, plan your time, because she's been able to do that with, planning herself with the schooling and even still doing the artwork. It takes a lot of time to do art, and she's been able to, merge the two or marry the two one way or the other. So another thing she said is that even while you are doing all these things, don't procrastinate. A lot of times we are like, okay, maybe later, okay, I will jump on it. And so we need to, start off whatever we need to start. And we shouldn't keep pushing it, because the time we are pushing away, so many things are happening. Maybe that time you would have really had your breakthrough, you would have done a lot of things that would have moved your life forward, and you're there still waiting until the so-called right time. Then always remember to take a break, right? When you're doing all these things, we need to take, our body do need rest. At times you need to take a break. Taking a break doesn't necessarily mean sleep. It could mean you even taking a walk, exercising, doing so many things that could, and at the same time, it makes you to be able to have, to reflect, and at the same time, bring up new ideas. So thank you so much, Karen, for being part of this. I know many people are going to watch this and they are going to come back and reach out to you. So Karen is on Instagram, Cassia_arts. I think I'm correct. I'm going to put it on the page, and I'm still going to be, sharing with people, like I said. So on that note, I want to say thank you so much for those that joined us live, and for those that are still going to watch this. So we hope to hear your comments and your feedback, on the page. So thank you so much. So it's your business consultant talking to you here, and thanks to our guest in the house, Karen Egu. So we hope to have you back again, but then I'm sure we'll have much larger people listening to you. By then, how do people say it? You would have blown so much, as in, if I don't blow, right? So, okay, thank you all. So it's your business consultant talking to you, Lola Agnes Falokun. Always connect with us on this page and on our social media platforms, on Instagram, and on Facebook as well. So it's Connect with Love here, and we wish you all the best. Thank you. So I say bye-bye. Bye. Bye, everyone.